Hi, it's Wendy. Today we're going to do a short video focusing mainly on the shoulder and the upper arm. We'll be looking to activate muscles, stretch out tight areas, bit of mobilization, and then some strength and stability. For some of the exercises, I will give you different levels and you just work at the level that feels best for you. Okay, so we're going to start in standing, feet parallel, nice standing posture, and we're just going to circle the shoulders round, just starting to get the shoulder joints and the muscles around that area moving. And then we're going to pop the hands onto the shoulders and we're going to circle the elbows round. So reaching the elbows forward, allowing the spine to curl forward slightly, reaching up, allowing yourself to come into a little bit of extension and then back and down. And we're going to do a few of these. So really working into the shoulder joint here. We're also starting to mobilize through that thoracic area, that middle part of the spine, and we'll include a bit of rotation and mobility in this short video because it's really important. If the thoracic area becomes quite stiff and restricted, as it often does, that can then refer up and cause issues with the shoulder joint, and it can affect the functioning of the shoulder joint. So we'll do a bit of mobility for the thoracic area. Right, let's take the shoulders back and down, reach the arms out to the side. So we're just going to think about gently drawing the abdominal muscles in, keeping that lower part of the spine nice and still and stable. So reaching through the fingertips. Think about opening up out across the front of the chest. Think about bringing those shoulder blades together at the back. So you're starting to feel like we're activating those muscles at the back of the shoulders, and then we're going to raise the arms up and down. So nice strong arms, reaching through the fingertips, nice and dynamic. And we'll go for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, we're going to take the hands behind the head. So again, keeping that lower part of the spine nice and neutral, opening the elbows out to stretch across the front of the chest, reach out to the side, and then hands back behind the head. So again, just further activating those muscles at the back of the shoulders and also stretching out across the front of the chest and the front of the shoulders, an area that can often get a little bit tight and restricted. And we'll go for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands behind the head. Back of the head gently resting into the hands so that we can get a little bit of length at the back of the neck, just making sure that the chin isn't poking forwards. We're going to do a winged chest stretch. So take the elbows round to the front and then open wide without arching that low back, keeping it nice and still. So starting to mobilize into the scapular region, and again stretching out across the front of the chest. And let's go for 5 and 4, 3, 2, last one here, hold it here, reach the arms out to the side, palms facing up. So again, we're keeping that lower part of the spine nice and still and stable, opening out across the front of the chest. We're going to rotate into the shoulder joint. Take the palms down and behind as far as you can, and then rotate round the other way. So rotating one way and then the other way, reaching through the fingers the whole time. So with this, make sure that you're not rounding the shoulders forward as you come forward, but you're staying open across the front of the chest. We'll go for 4 and 3, for 2, and last one here. Let's relax the arms down, circle the shoulders again. Okay, so we're going to come to the end of the mat. We'll do a couple of roll downs and then we'll come down onto our hands and knees. So standing with feet parallel, standing nice and tall, take a breath in. As you exhale, think about drawing the abdominal muscles in, bringing the head forward and letting the arms hang forward, keeping the knees slightly soft, and rolling forward just as far as is comfortable. So we're going to hang out here for a moment, letting the head hang heavy, letting the arms hang heavy. Give the head a bit of a nod or a shake. Just release off any tightness or tension in the neck. Let the arms hang heavy and breathe. Breathing into the back of the ribs.
And the next time you exhale, think about sending the feet into the mat, soften the knees and draw up in the abdominal muscles, keeping the head and the arms hanging heavy as you slowly roll back up, nice and slowly. Okay, we're going to do one more and then we're going to come down. So breath in as you exhale, rolling forward. The head and the arms hanging heavy. Bend the knees as much as you need to at the bottom. Going to pop the hands down and carefully come down into our quadruped position. So our 4-point kneeling. Relax the feet. So we've got knees beneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. So let's have the fingers spread, middle finger pointing forwards. Keep the head and the neck in a nice neutral position and just make sure you're drawing those abdominal muscles back up towards the spine as you continue to breathe. We're going to press the hands into the floor as we push up into the shoulder joints, feeling the shoulder blades come apart at the back, and then we're going to drop down, feeling the shoulder blades come together at the back. So our scapular press, pushing up and down. And we're going to go for 4 and 3, for 2, and last one here. Now, if you know that you're comfortable in your plank position, you can do this in plank. So you just step the feet back, okay? Make sure that you're stretching through the heels. In your plank, make sure you don't have the hips too low. So if the hips are too low, you're not going to be able to engage those core muscles. So lifting the hips up slightly, drawing those abdominal muscles up, and same thing here. You can push up and then come down into that scapular press. And again, we can go for 4 and 3, 2, last one here. We're going to just carefully rest the knees down, relax the feet, and let's just sit back and stretch out for a moment. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back up into our quadruped position. So just take a moment to check your positioning and your alignment. Again, fingers spread, middle finger pointing forward, drawing those abdominal muscles up towards the spine. So we're going to do our tricep push-up now. So have the hands active. Think about gently pressing the palms and the fingers into the mat. So not gripping, but just activating those hand muscles. And then we're going to bring the elbows back towards the knees. So the elbows come back as you lower down. You just go as far as is comfortable. And then you push back up again, working into those tricep muscles. So we're lowering down and then pushing back up. And again, breathing in and exhale to push up. Inhale to lower down and exhale to push up. Now, you can bring it on from this. You can take the hands forward a little bit. You can sort of lean into it a little bit more. So you're almost in that sort of coming towards your plank, but with the knees down. So you've got a little bit more weight in the front here. Again, drawing those abdominal muscles up. Same thing again. You can bring those elbows back as you lower down. Exhale to push up. Bringing the elbows back and then pushing back up. And again, bringing the elbows back and pushing back up. And again, if you're comfortable in your plank position, you can do it from there. So you do whichever level feels right for you. So if you're coming up into your plank, again, I'm going to step the legs back, stretching through the heels, lifting the hips slightly so you can really engage those core muscles, having the hands active. Okay, the elbows come back and then pushing back up again. And again, coming down and pushing up. Elbows come back towards you and pushing up. Carefully bring the knees down, relax the feet and sit back into the heels. Let's bring the arms around to the left side. Okay, that right hand coming over the left, that right hip going towards the right heel. Have a couple of big breaths there. Relaxing the head down. Let's bring the hands through the center, round to the right, left hand going over the right, that left hip going towards that left heel, relaxing the head and breathe into it. Good. Bring the hands back into the center and then back in towards you. Okay, so we're going to come into our side lying position, resting on the forearm and the elbow. Again, different levels here, really important to just work with what feels best for you. You can gradually build up the strength and then move on to the next level. So we're going to start with the knees bent, feet just behind the bottom, elbow under the shoulder, fingers pointing forward. So first of all, we want to think about lifting up out of that shoulder joint. Often in this position, we'll kind of sink into it a little bit. So you want to lift up out of it, make sure the shoulder joint is really nice and stacked. Okay, think about drawing those abdominal muscles in. We're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to think about lifting the ribs and then lifting the hips up. Okay, head reaching out through the crown of the head, and with the in-breath, slowly and controlled, lower it down. As you exhale, we're going to lift those ribs, lift the hips, and then slowly lower it down. So if that feels enough for you, you can continue with that, even if you just do 2 or 3 repetitions. Next one, we're going to reach the top leg, lengthen the top leg away, keeping the bottom knee bent. So again, first of all, just checking, are we lifting up out of that shoulder joint, opening out across the front of the chest, taking your breath in. As you exhale, we're going to lift the ribs, and we can lift the hips, lengthening through the crown of the head, control it down. Again, as you exhale, lifting those ribs, lifting up, lengthening through the crown of the head, and control it down. So if that version feels okay with you, you can stick with that. Final one, we're going to reach both legs out. We'll have the feet unstacked, so have that top foot in front of the bottom, same as we've been doing though. So first of all, have a little check. Are we lifting up out of that shoulder joint, opening out across the front of the chest, taking a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to lift those ribs, and we're going to lift up and control it down. As you exhale, lift the ribs, lifting up and control it down. Last one here. As you exhale, we're going to lift those ribs, lifting up and control it down. Good. Right, we're going to come over and do the other side, and then we will stretch out. So we're starting off with our knees bent, elbow under the shoulder, fingers pointing forward. So are we lifting up out of the shoulder joint, opening out across the front of the chest? Think about drawing those abdominal muscles in. As you exhale, we're going to lift the ribs. Now, if lifting the ribs is enough, that's fine. You can just focus on engaging and lifting, okay? If that feels okay, as you exhale, you can lift the ribs, and then we can lift the hips, going tall through the crown of the head, control it down. As you exhale, we're going to lift those ribs, and then lifting up and control it down. So next one, I'm going to reach that top leg out, keeping that bottom knee bent. So again, always just recheck your position. We're lifting up out of the shoulder joint, opening out across the front of the chest. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to lift the ribs and then lift up. Control it down on the in-breath. As you exhale, lift those ribs and lift up and control it down. Last one here. As you exhale, lift the ribs and lift up, lengthening through the crown of the head, control it down. And then finally, if you feel ready to go on to the next one, both legs straight, unstacked top leg in front of the bottom. Just have a little check of your positioning, lifting up out of that shoulder joint, opening out across the front of the chest. Breath in. As you exhale, we're going to lift those ribs, lifting up, control it down. As you exhale, lifting the ribs, lifting up, lengthening the crown of the head, and control it down. Last one. As you exhale, lifting those ribs, lifting up, and control it down. Brilliant, well done. Right, so we're just going to do a stretch to finish off with. Okay, so I'm going to come to lie on your side, get a cushion for your head, have your head at the front of the cushion, and make sure you've got a bit of space above the head. We're going to have the knees in nice and close, arms out to the front. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to reach that hand forward and we're going to start to circle round towards the top of the head, coming round in a semicircle, allowing the head to follow all the way round. So you're really opening out across the front of the chest. Breath in here. And as you exhale, engage those muscles, bring that hand back over the top to the front. As you exhale, now breathing in, reaching forward as you exhale. We're going to take that hand round, trying to keep contact with the floor as far as possible. Obviously, if you need to lift the hand up, that's fine. Opening out across the front of the chest, breathing in. And as you exhale, taking the hand back over the top to the front. Last one, take a breath in, reaching forward. As you exhale, we're going to take that hand round, the head follows, keeping those knees together. If you struggle to keep the knees together, pop a cushion between the knees. Nice breath in here. And on the exhale, take that hand up and over and back to the front. And then we'll do the other side. So carefully push yourself up and we'll just swap over to the other side. So again, head resting at the front of the cushion, knees bent up nice and close, arms to the front. Take a breath in, reaching forward. On the out breath, let's start to take that hand around above the head, behind you, opening up across the front of the chest. Pause here, breathe into it. And on the out breath, bringing that hand back up and over, breathing in to reach forward. As you exhale, that hand just draws that little semicircle on the floor, round above the head, opening up across the front of the chest. Pause here, have a breath. And on the out breath, take that hand up and over, and then one more here, breathing in. As you exhale, drawing that semicircle around to above the head, round behind you, opening up across the front of the chest, breathing in. And as you exhale, take that hand up and over and back to the front. And then from here, you can just carefully push yourself back up to a sitting position. So there you go, just quite a short routine, but just really focusing on the shoulders and the upper arms, different levels, work at the level that feels best for you, even if you only do 1 or 2 repetitions, and then you can gradually build up to it. So let me know how you get on.